So what we're going to talk about first are these liquidity pools. How do they work? What is a liquidity pool? Well, let's just pick this kind of meme here, Central African Republic meme. I'm sure as you watch this video, it's probably zeroed by now, but we can still check this out. You can see right here, our fully diluted valuation is $125 million, okay? Now, if we go over here, we can see you got our pair. Let's click on pair and we can go into this, and now we'll actually see the liquidity pool, okay? So the value of this token is propped up by a pool of these two different assets. You can see here they have the token itself and they have this wrapped sol. So what's happening is these two assets are paired together and put into the decentralized exchange, and that's what's happening when trading is occurring. So when trading is occurring, what it's doing is it's saying, all right, sol is going in and tokens come out. Okay, that's making the price go up because we have more sol, less tokens, and then that brings the value up of the token. And when people are selling, they're putting their tokens in, they're taking their sol out, that makes the price go down. That's how this works. There's a math formula that controls how much it shifts. The main thing you want to pay attention to is note $1.1 million of Solana is backing essentially here, quite a high valuation of 127 million. Okay, so it will not take much selling pressure really to move this whole price either up or down. So it's quite a volatile scenario. And what I'm going to show you here is how do liquidity pools actually work. We're going to look at two different examples. One of them that's set up with hardly any liquidity and a $10,000 sell, and one that actually has some good liquidity and then a $10,000 sell. So in our quick example here, we have the exact same stats for these two different pools. They have the exact same tokens. One just has more money in it than the other. Liquidity pool over here, this has $10,000 of ETH that's also paired with $10,000 worth of the token, or 1% of the supply. So if we were to look at this example, our ETH value is $10,000. Our market cap is $1 million, and our liquidity in the pool is $10,000 or 1% of the supply. Okay, you can see how that works out. So again, our market cap or fully diluted valuation is the price times the total supply. Okay, you can see the total supply. You got the price, there's our market cap. All right, so in this example, we've only got $10,000 of value propping up $1 million of fully diluted value. Let's look at this example over here. This example over here has the exact same price, the exact same valuation of $1 million. The difference though is this has $100,000 of ETH inside of it, whereas this one only had $10,000. Otherwise, it's the exact same thing. And because we have more value here, we have more tokens here, or 10% of the supply. So this has 100,000 and 10%. This has 10,000 and 1%. Okay. Now, I'm not going to go into all the math of the decentralized exchange because all you need to know is really this. Let's say a $10,000 sell came in, right? And now someone just sold 1% of the supply, 10,000 bucks. They sell this. There's no liquidity there. They can drain, except for $10,000. They can drain, this one sell could drain the entire pool and bring the whole price to nearly zero. It'd be that effective. Over here, we have $100,000, right? So when I go ahead and put in a $10,000 sell, it'll decrease the price, let's just say roughly 10%, right? So it'll go from $1 million to 900,000, but I will not go all the way to zero, right? Because there's a lot of liquidity here to help absorb this sell. The same thing is also true if we have a buy, right? So if our liquidity pool is too much, when a buy comes in, it can't really move the price that effectively, so it's going to be harder to grow. That's also why in the very beginning stages, if you set this up with too much liquidity, you're putting too much into this pool, and then you could also, again, restrict all that price movement up, and then all your marketing will largely be ineffective. People will get impatient, then they might start to sell, right? And so that's the whole point you need to understand is how do you set this thing up? How do you enable a reasonable volatility? And we'll be covering this in more detail as we go into the liquidity pool requirements section, which I'll do next. But first, I just wanted to tell you about how these different things work, okay? And it's all due to the mathematics on the decentralized exchange, how much liquidity is there, and then how much is coming in either as a buy or a sell. That's what's changing the price. So again, things could be extremely volatile. You can see here, it's already very volatile. Even on this brief video, the price is significantly changing, right? You can see how that works as well. The price just over a course of small span of time, right? Here, it's 7:20 a.m. This is about 3 hours ago for me. Look at how fast the price has gone down from this market cap valuation all the way down to here, probably off a very little bit of selling pressure. And that's why you want to be very careful when you're putting together these pools. And I'll show you more about that in the next video.